My name is Percival de Beckworth, Hereford. De Beckworth being my middle name, but is also the ancestral surname on my mother's side. They were the landed gentry, and they owned all the land around here until my mother's grandfather sold it all to a Texan tarmac tycoon. The land and house are all belonging to his forebears, but my mother's grandfather was a very canny old goose, and he actually didn't sell the Texan the main house. He actually sold him the gatehouse, which is very funny. The main house remained in the family, and that is the main house that, of course, you now see. I've had to rent rooms out because it costs a bomb. An absolute bomb to keep a stately home, even a small one, ticking over. And if my mother's grandfather hadn't sold all the swathes of land, he would have made an ideal park where you have animals, like a zoo. I'm trying to think, what do you call that? We could have kept lions and tigers and kangaroos and badgers and ferrets, I would have thought, because people would have flocked from miles around to see one of those type of parks, which I can't think of what is. Wildlife park. Is that what it's called? It's a wildlife park, yes. But we haven't got one of those, so that's why I rent rooms out. I did try many years ago doing bed and breakfast, but I was never any good at getting up early in the morning, and guests used to have to rap on my door. "Get up, you old bugger," they used to say. Then if I wasn't too hungover, I would get up and cook breakfast. But to be honest with you, I was never really one for cooking at all. Breakfast, middle of the day, or evening meals. I was never very good. So now I just rent the rooms out and let everybody just get on with it and cook themselves things. And the people now stay long term, and they're not really guests, are they? They're tenants. I've got a lot of tenants. And I'm well known in the village, and well liked, one would say. One would. And I've got lovely neighbours. What's this saying? Keep your enemies near and your neighbours far, or close. Something like that, anyway. At the bottom of the drive, I've got gypsies. Gypsies have moved in with a caravan. In my day, you were allowed to call them Didikoy. You're not allowed to call them that anymore, and you have to call them Margaret and David. No, I'm not a lonely man. I've been lucky enough to have shared my life with three lovely ladies. Not at the same time. I'm not one of those bugamists. But no, I've been married 3 times, and the last time was it wasn't the most successful of partnerships, because I'd never met the young lady in question, and it was actually questionable if she was a young lady. In fact, I thought she was a lot older than young. But she was. I think you call them catalogue brides, isn't it? It's a bit like bang from the Argos catalogue, really, isn't it? Except that she was no Elizabeth Duke, and it also that when I did marry her, she had brought over her family for the wedding, and they stayed. They stayed on for the 6 years that we were married, and they were a bugger to get rid of. I can tell you, I had to pay them all off, and it's not as if I had a great deal of money anyway, but I was still paying off that loan. But life is full of surprises, and things that come along and test one's grout. or is it test one's gumption? That was it. Gumption they were testing. Yes.